Hello, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tracy, also known as Not Afraid of Color, also known as T. Hope y'all are well. On this fine rainy Thursday here in Alabama, we've got some residuals coming in from some tropical storm or something. I don't know. Rain. We got rain. So, hi Elizabeth. Today we are working in the color journal, and our prompt, I did orange, so let's just recap. Here was day 1, representation of the color wheel. Day 2 was red, and that was to be monochromatic. Day 3 was orange-red, which I chose rust. Day 4 was orange, and we did the Simon Hurley chickens. And day 5 today is going to be yellow-orange. And the prompt, I need to cross off day 4 here. Yellow, orange, analogous colors. So we're going to use yellow, orange as the primary color and analogous color. So analogous is two colors on either side of the color on the color wheel. And this one asks to leave a journal space or a space to write and add words and add flowers. That's asking an awful lot of me to remember. I'll try my best. So I'm going to take this out because I will do all my work on top of this and then glue it in. But meanwhile, we'll get her out of the way. And I have taken out my gel plates. So here's a color wheel, and yellow, orange is our color. So I can choose orange and red orange, or I can choose yellow and yellow green. And I'm doing yellow, orange, yellow, and yellow green. That's the analogous colors. Thank you for the chickens. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Jim. Hi, Bug. Hi, Pam. So we'll get that moved aside. Now the closest I have to yellow orange is this color right here. And it's a pretty bright yellow. So I did take out some colors to mix with. Hello, Kitty. So I can mix a little bit of red in there and come up with a better yellow orange. And then I took out this green, which is green yellow, which is yellow green. Green yellow, yellow green, same difference in my mind anyway. So I've taken out a mixing plate, and that's not the one I want. I want the dirty one. Taking out a mixing plate. Now, I am going to attempt, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm going to attempt an image transfer, and I got this cool book, and you can see that it's about, 18 inches long, and I bought it at the Sally Army, and it's just pictures of skyscrapers. Hi, Jana. And so I looked through them, and one thing you want to know and do with image transfers is you want to make sure that there's a real high contrast. So I'm looking at this one because it's not my favorite building. I like this building, but there's not enough contrast, at least not for a novice like me or a beginner or whatever. Lots of cool buildings in here, though. But am I a coffee table book person? I don't even have a coffee table, so no, I'm not. I just bought it because it was $1. And there's a lot of fun images that to work with collage and stuff like that. And so I believe I'm going to work with this picture right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut it out of the book. And I'm going to use my knife for that. Yeah, I'm in Alabama. Alabama. Yeah, I'm not doing a very good job of it. Speaking of Alabama, I put myself through Fried Green Tomatoes again yesterday. Such a good movie. Okay, this isn't working. I don't want to tear it though. I just don't have a very good steady hand with this kind of crap. And this is actually sewn together. I could, oops, don't tear it, you dummy. Big dummy. Also, don't slice your finger. Let's try it from this side. I'll probably have better luck. Yeah, of course I will. I don't know what were you thinking, Ding Dong? There we go. So I've got here, this is my wet strength, Carnival wet strength tissue paper. And then this is my clip stencil, and I can't wait to use it. This is, let's see who made this. I don't remember if it's Elizabeth St. Hilaire or it's just a Joggles, but it's called Klimt. 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 I don't know if I'm saying it right. And then I have my big thing, my big thing. Come on. Get that clamshell out of the way. I see you in here, Kitty. You're allowed to be in here. It's fine. She runs every time I see her. As if she's not supposed to be here. Okay, so I'm just going to grab the part of the picture that I want to use. I don't necessarily want that in there. Oops, don't stick yet, you doggone thing. I could just trim that right out. That's what I'll do. Is that. It's going to go right about there, right about in the middle. Now remember, the width of my journal is only about the width of this, so that's fine. So I'm going to start out with my black paint, and I'm using Folk Art Multi-Surface Satin. Thank you, Jim. I thought maybe it was her, but you know my memory, or you don't, because you don't remember. And I need something to roll off on. I took out some roll off sheets, and where did I put them? Who knows? I also have another page that I'll roll out on, but if I'm just rolling out black, I just need it on a plain white page. Okay, so here's the part that I want to use. Wish me luck, because sometimes I have good luck with this and sometimes I do not. When you're doing this layer, it needs to be relatively thin. I've got it a little bit on the thick side. Now I'm going to take my cheap Amazon paper. What you doing, Kitty? You're okay. You can be in here. You can be wherever you want. You're invited. Just to kind of clear off that excess black and keep it from getting on my hands while I rub his. Make sure it's nicely rubbed on there. We can pull this off. Yes, it left a fairly lovely impression. It's probably kind of hard for you guys to see. Now, Kat, you are not invited to where the wet paint is. Let's put this on a white piece of paper so you can see. No, that's wet. She goes directly for the wet piece of paper and all the million things in this room. Cats. What are you going to do? So now you can see the impression that it left. And set this the right way down, goofball. I'm going to take baby wipes. and clear off what I don't want on there. Okay, see you in a little while. I don't need that. I don't need that excess blobber right there. I don't want that. The whole corner of the building got wiped out. Must have been an earthquake. Soften up that line a bit. Okay, so that has to be totally dry before I do the next step. And I have here my little blow dryer, and it has a cool shot on it. So you see here, that's the cool shot. So I'm going to turn it on to low and warm, and then I'll hit it with the cool shot. It doesn't take that long to dry because it's a pretty thin coat. Okay, so next thing I want to do is I want to add a stencil. I don't know if I'll add the flint stencil now or play with that on another piece. I think I'm gonna do, I need something bigger than that. Let me see if I got something bigger but repetitive like that. I think I do. Lay the stencil on. And now it's the mixing phase of the project. So I'm going to grab this little thing right here. We're going to make some yellow orange. So I'm going to go, what I'm going to, oh, I'm just going to pull the whole doggone thing off. Okay. Put a pretty decent glob of that, and then uh, that's broken now. Nice, nice, nice going. Oh, no, it's fine. Little glob of this red. Yeah. Son of a beach. I can't get anything open today. There we go. Mix that up. That's a little too orange now, isn't it? I need to back up on that a little bit and grab some more. Where'd the yellow go? Here it is. See if I can get the cap off now. There we go. Hi, sweetheart. My little darling kitty. That's more like it. You need very little red. Ooh, pretty. That's why we like roll-off pages. come in with the yellow, which is almost a yellow orange on its own. A little bit more of the yellow orange. Okay, move that for a minute. I'm going to roll off here. Grab my stencil, pull my stencil off. I don't want to waste any. Okay, gotta find places to put wet things that cats aren't gonna get into. Worked outside today. Immediately started sneezing and wheezing and all the things. It was sunny this morning, and we had a lot of work to do in our backyard. Okay, so now that needs to be dry. Oh, thank you, Jana. I love having you watch. So I let it go warm for a second, and then I give it a cool shot. Warm for a second and a cool shot. I don't need that. That thing going around is going to make me crazy. And these paints are really, really shiny until they're dry, and then they kind of look matte on the gel plate. Anyway, when I bought that book, specifically, I had this specific technique in mind. And I learned this from an Australian woman, I think. And you guys know that I have a terrible memory and bad with names. So I don't remember. It's just one of the many that I follow on Instagram. This is still a little bit damp, but I think I can slide. So now I'm coming in with my green because that's our analogous color. And our black, obviously our black and white is free. And let's use the fatty one. And I only need this specific area. These and nothing up my sleeve. Gel printing is so much fun, but it's so addictive. So I'll show you what this is going to look like. Trippy. I don't know if I'm going to love it. Doesn't matter. It's a background. So, gonna take my dryer again to it. That's the most frustrating part, is waiting. This green may be a little bit translucent. I don't know, these artist lofts are cheap. Semi-opaque. Hi, Suzanne. Oh, thank you so much. And I don't know why I'm rubbing this, just to kind of feel, you know, if it feels like it's sort of drying. Let's peek. Okay. So that's interesting. I don't know if I love it though. Yeah, I don't love it. Let's do another. I think in hindsight, I might have painted the windows. I think I'm going to do another just like this, only without the black. So, I'm going to start here. Going to go in with my yellow orange. Then I think I'll do the Klimt stencil. And then come in with the yellow if I can find it. Hi, Chow. Oops. Oh, God, I got way too much there. Okay. I have to do a massive roll off on that. Maybe not. Maybe not. You want to make sure that I get color in most of those holes. Whatever I don't use, I'll use in collage, you know, throughout the lifetime of my collagey crafty life. So I'm not too stressed. So I think that I will lay that off on here on one of these. Oh, you know what? No. Yeah, I'm going to do it on the wet string. Might have to do a couple of layers of the green. Oh, I love that. I do. Peel that off there so it doesn't get stuck. Hi, Maddie. Okay, I need to find a home for that. Right over here will be fine. And now we've got to wait for this to dry, and we'll help it. Quit rolling away. Driving me crazy. And that stencil that I'm using there, I have no idea. I'm pretty sure I got, most of the time I buy my stencils from joggers. Because they sell nice big ones. Remember, I have to add flowers. That's just a reminder for myself. I'm sure you guys remember. All right. Go a little bit on the thick side with this stuff. I'm doing it all the way to the edge because I don't want to waste it. So what I'll do one, and then I'll do another. Show you what that's going to look like. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit better. It might have a little black showing up on it, and that's okay. I'm not mad. It's very wet. I think I will set this on the clamshell and play around with one we just did. This one here. And because it's the wet strength tissue, I can play around with some ink sprays. So let's get twisted citron, and then let's get mustard seed. No, maybe not. Maybe squeezed lemonade would be better. This I can dry with high heat. Okay. And for that, I'm going to use my, oh, why are you on the floor? And tangled up with 9 million different things. Oh, this is too slow. Let me get out the big guns. Ow. That's just steam coming off of there, friends. No worries. Sometimes it looks like smoke, but it's steam. Let's give that a quick little wipe. I have an idea. Dry enough. So that's just kind of with the paint and this spray on the wet strength tissue. But if you take and let me grab here. I'm gonna try and find one with just text on it. A lot of them have a lot of pictures. This one has a lot of cool pics. So there's kind of our analogous colors too, only it's a little more orange. This book has a lot of interesting artwork in it, and I don't know why. But the text doesn't come all the way to the edge, and that's kind of what I want. So let me find the book that does. Here we go. Oops, don't want to lose that map. Oh, I like that too. So there's the problem I have. Oh yeah, let's do an index here. Do not lay that on top of your wet thing, girl. All right, let's get my brush. Let's get some Mod Podge. I can cut flowers out of this. Not too much water in that thing. Remind me to take that brush out before I leave this room. Let's give it dry. And then we'll work on drying our other piece. And then I can start to put together the collage. Leaving a space for journaling. Or creating one, maybe. Now you can see the text beneath it. Aw, May, that's my friend. What's always the boring part, friends? We'll let that dry on its own for a little bit now. Set you right over here. Grab the doobly doo. Still very wet. So give that a little help. Almost there. Got crap blowing everywhere. Yeah, it's not 100% dry, but it's close enough. Close enough to pull. Let go. Let go. Okay. So I have some pieces here to work with. Let's see, where did I put my watercolor piece that I'm laying this all on? Right here. gonna do, okay. I'm thinking. Now I'm thinking in your brain. I don't think I want to use that piece. I do want to use it for something. I just don't love it for that. Okay, let's get this glued down. I need a rag here. Need that to be so wet. Glue. Where'd you go? Mod Podge. Will stick down as I say. Okay. I want my sponge, but I'm not quite sure. There it is. Let's wet my sponge down. I have to just dip it in the water. And squeezed out over here. Okay, let's get that to dry. You right there. Now grab this piece right here. I'm just going to do some tearing. Oh, I'm getting paint everywhere. I ought to be paying attention right here, huh? Dang it, Bobby. Okay, let's see. There was another, the yellow orange. Remember, the greens are supposed to be, the yellow and the green are supposed to be accent colors, with yellow-orange being the main color. And I'm going to do, I'm going to put words on here is what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. Ooh, ooh. Oops, I got way too much. That's the story of my life. It's okay. I'm not gonna freak out. Coat the whole thing again. Try and get that spread out best I can. I realize it looks weird now, friends. Gotta trust that process. Hi, Cordelia. Ooh, my paint's bubbling. I like that. Go ahead and bubble. I like it when you bubble. Okay, we can let that dry by itself for a minute whilst I make flowers. Let me think how I want to approach that. Okay, I'm going to need a pen. Let's grab my black Posca. If I can find it. There's one. I think that's black. It could, sometimes they're silver. Nope, that's black. Okay. Tornado warning there. So, okay, sitting in the bathroom. All right, well, be safe in the bathroom. We didn't get any warnings or anything here. Let's go. Just heavy rain. Ooh, what's really cool, and you can't see it, is this pen is splattering everywhere as it paints on. That's a trick. I like it. Do another little one here. And I'm just going to cut these out. Give that a second to dry. Trim off the excess off of here. Scissors. Oh, now that's usually close. That's usually when the sirens start going off, that's usually when I will, or my phone starts streaming. That's usually when I will go down in the crawl space area. I don't go directly into the crawl space. I would if I heard the tornado coming, but if I don't hear like a loud train or whatever they say you hear, I don't know. Um, I'll just at least stay in that part so I'm close. But the hardest part is trying to gather up animals. They don't want to go. First of all, my cat doesn't want to be picked up at all, ever, ever, ever. Okay, I need some words. Let's see what kind of words are in this book. Okay, the word building. Building, complex. Scissors. Dang it, Bobby, where'd they go? Here they are. Before I cut that, I want to make sure that I'm not cutting out something I might want to use later. Oh. Okay, building a complex world. I like the word world better. This is fairly thick paper. Oh, boss is probably texting you to make sure you're okay, right? That's cool. I can do center spelled C-E-N-T-R-E. Oh no, I want that building. Lipstick building. Okay, obviously we're going to use the word building. I just want that A right there. Let's see if I can find my Scotch tape. I don't want that tape. I want the clear tape. I think that's what I'm going to have to live with. No, that didn't work. All right, we'll just cut you out then. Be that way. Maybe I'm going to find an A from someplace else because that's starting to piss me off. There we go. And I'm off here where you can't see me because this book is so big. And I wanted that word complex. Oh, I see. Problem is, no. Where's the word complex? Oh, okay. United, yay. Nope. Okay. Hang on. Sears Tower, World Trade Center, Hancock Center, Pyramid. Still looking for the word I want. City, Pan Am Building, building. Come on, there has to be another word of complex. But there isn't. And I can't find the one I had. Okay, go back to your computer. I'm glad it's over, or safe anyway. Headquarters, City Hall, complex. There it is. This is why I say you don't have to have a bunch of stuff. You know, magazines work. There we go. All right, back to building the complex little world here. Who knows how it'll turn out, and do I even care? Not really. The main point was to kind of follow the prompts and utilize the colors. Which were analogous. Tomorrow's color is yellow. And I could have just used some dies, stamps and dies to do these, but I really want to kind of move away from that in this particular series so that anybody can use whatever they have. No updates, no. But I'm not too stressed about it right this second. Because it's not cancer. I mean, other things are just as bad, but not necessarily as fatal or feeling fatal. I mean, lots of people survive cancer, but it's still a scary thing. But The other possibilities are, much simpler to mitigate, hopefully, without a bunch of weird medications and stuff like that. Okay. I'm not sure where I'm putting these yet. Okay, I'm going to cut these out. I wish it was different fonts, and it would be if I got it from different books, but I'm not going to go through all that because it's already after 6. All right, you guys know I cut out the word complex. Where'd it go? There we go. The flowers are almost an afterthought. You guys know that I'm not a super flower person. Okay. Yeah, the problem that I have mostly if I'm watching on my phone is trying to chat because you know, those tiny little letters that fingers just can't seem to hit properly. At least not mine. I don't like the flowers. I really want it, but I have a feeling I can make it so they make me happy. And I'll show you in a couple of minutes. Yeah, I usually watch on my iPad too because I'm in my bedroom and on my bed. If I want to sit at my computer, I will, but here's the funny part. In the summertime, my computer sits right where the air conditioner blows on me, and it makes me a little nuts. Makes me a little nutso. Okay. Now, where did my Posca pen go? Look at all these goodies I have left to do stuff with. First thing I want to do is outline all of these. Give it a little bit more stark contrast. Oops, did a sloppy job there. Okay, and then You know me, I want to go with a little bit of whimsy. I think I don't need things to be so serious here today. I didn't make any dinner for Mike today or yesterday. Oh well. I made him a nice big breakfast and I went outside and worked with him. Well, supervised while he worked. Which is, in his mind helpful. Cast it from my phone to the TV. Yeah, that's true. But what happens when I do that is that they're not in sync with each other. And especially if I can see the person's face and their talking isn't in sync, I go a little bit crazy. I'm just a little bit on the spectrum when it comes to that kind of stuff. Okay, and then let's whimsy that up a little bit more. Just a little bit more. I'm going to grab, you know what? I'm going to grab my checkerboard one. All right, Maddie, take care. See you around. Want to give these a little bit more of a hand-drawn look. Just again to add a little bit of contrast. And am I doing them all exactly the same? I mean, I wish. I'm not really capable of that. I just want to pull in the same shade of black to just add a little bit more contrast to that. And I think just that part of the building, maybe this part. Let's do a little bit of splattering. Ooh, yeah. All right, let's give that a dry and put it in the book. Cordelia. So analogous, the three colors together on the color wheel. Yellow, orange, yellow, and yellow, green. And I feel like I nailed that. Plus, of course, we're allowed to do blacks and whites and neutrals. Where's the book? Here it is. And I think I'll staple that one in just for the heck of it. Oh, thank you for sending memberships, Cordelia. Now I could add fabrics and all kinds of other stuff to this, but I'm, trying to keep it simple, try not to make it too dang long. Okay. There, that page is in. We've got our analgous orange-yellow in the books. So, yeah, these guys. Yes. So they were our orange. There, see, now you can tell the big difference between orange-yellow and orange. So to me, they both look orange, but it is what it is. So tomorrow we're on yellow. Not sure what I'm going to do yet. It's always going to be a surprise because I think of them last minute, other than following the prompts, which the prompt here, let me cross off this. Triad colors. Okay, so with yellow, we're going to create multiple colored squares of various sizes, with yellow being the dominant color, and collage them onto the page. So our triads with yellow are going to be red and blue. So we'll do one that's primary colors. So tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock Central, the usual, for my Friday morning coffee. That's what I'm doing. So I thank you guys for coming to hang out with me, and I hope that you're following along. If not, fine. Don't be that way. Hi, Jenny. Yeah, don't forget the thumbs up and all the things, and see you guys around. Yeah, I don't love these flowers. Maybe they'll grow on me, but I don't love them. And tonight, at some point, I'll clean up this mess, and watch this. I'm going to leave this open, so if there's anything wet, it'll... Look at what I'm doing, friends. I'm remembering to take my brush out of the water. All right, that's it for today. Take care. All right, Suzanne, thank you so much for everybody that's here now and everybody that watches the replay. I appreciate you a lot. Bye-bye.